Our special interview segment is with the Director General, Press and Media Affairs to His Excellency the Executive Governor of Yobe State. He is Alhaji Mamman Mohammed. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fini.
Yes, let's set the ball rolling now. Information flow between the government, the governor, and the people is very critical. How have you been able to cascade the plans, policies, and programs of His Excellency and communicate it properly to the people and ensure that, yes, they understand what the governor is up to?
Yeah, right. Like you rightly observed, when you keep people ignorant of what is happening, they are bound to interpret it the way they feel. Sure. And for that reason, you just have to keep them abreast with the vital information. Fortunately for us in Yobe State, we have a very functional state radio station, which is the Yobe Radio Corporation, known as YBC. We have the Yobe State Television there. And of course, we take advantage of the social media too. We've been churning out the policies and programs of this administration, and it's been going viral. And I'm happy to say that the appointment of special assistants on media over the period of time by His Excellency has also added to them reposting or sharing what we have given out as information. So this, to a large extent, has been giving out the right information at the right time to the people. And of course, like you know, our audience is, we cover the entire state to ensure that each and everyone is carried on board.
The administration is it's 2 years and counting.
Yeah.
How far has this administration come in terms of delivering on those promises? Because I know His Excellency had some priority areas that he intended to focus on. How far has he come?
Out of 178 primary health care centers, which he promised to either establish, build, or rehabilitate in each of the 178 political wards, to his credit today, we have 105 primary health care centers functional that have been achieved. That is 105 out of 178. No. And I think that is a good. When we say functional primary health care centers, these are healthcare centers that at each ward that have male wards for admission, female wards, labor room for deliveries, pharmacy, and quarters to give for the personnel, so as to have a 247 presence of workers in the primary health centers. So you can see that in the health sector, this is just the primary health care, and the service these primary health care centers are giving is equivalent to what is obtained in secondary health facilities in most of the states. Let's go to the education sector. You will agree with me that before the advent of this administration, the state had suffered so much from the prolonged insurgency crisis. His Excellency declared a state of emergency on education. And because the education has suffered so much from the insurgency attacks, His Excellency deliberately made education a priority. So he established mega schools in the zones and model schools too. If you go there now, you realize that there is the congestion that has taken place already. There is one school in Port School, known as Alikini. It used to be one of the most congested schools. In fact, it's often referred to as one of the most congested schools in northern Nigeria. But to his credit today, new structures have been erected, and there's been also intervention from partners. He was able to liaise with some development partners. He reached out, and that collaboration has today bring a lot of support in the education sector.
What are the people saying? How do they appreciate, or what's their perception of what His Excellency is doing for them? What's the feedback?
They are quite appreciative because for the first time you realize that somebody who is a son of nobody, whose parents are not known, are beneficiaries of this program. It has been so open, transparent, and honest, very equitable for that matter, cutting across all the local government councils in the state, with a lot of them coming from poor backgrounds. That you don't need to know somebody, you don't need to know somebody for you to benefit from this. And I think that is one good thing. And there was one of the parents had to shed tears that he had never for once ever thought his son would benefit from such a wonderful goodwill and advantage and such a sponsor to go outside this country to read for a specialized course. Wow. The son is now reading medicine, and you know that what it means. So there is no preferential treatment. It is merely solely on yes, you are fit, you are qualified. It is you are just ready to go.
Governor Mai Malabuni, a lot of people we notice in the state are endeared to him. And then the question is, what style of leadership has he adopted? Who is he when you look at his administration and everything? What kind of man is Governor Mai Malabuni?
One thing you cannot take away from him is his humility. He is a complete humble gentleman. Another thing is accessibility. He is always accessible to the people. You find him calling people by their names, giving them that closeness. And also, he has this listening ears. He has a lot of sources to get his information. That yes, something is happening somewhere and all this. Before you know, it's rectified, it's fixed. Because he is accessible to the people now complain to him directly. Nobody has to hide anything away from him because he gets the information. So he gets the information from the people directly, and he's accessible. They talk to him. That endeared him so much to the people. And I think it's working. We thank God that with this kind of character, it has even eased the governance in the state because he's on top of the situation.
Yes, let's talk about infrastructure now. We have seen some roads, we have seen the market that also be completed, even the airport is almost completed. Tell us about most of these significant infrastructural development under this administration.
Well, you've already enumerated them, like the airport. You know, initially when he pledged to complete this facility, a lot of people were thinking of what benefit is it to the state. After all, it's going to be cost effective and all this and that. It's capital intensive and whatever. Now, His Excellency looked at it from a different approach. He said, if you don't finish this project, any time you want to finish it, it's going to cost more. Sure. And there's no point leaving a project that you've injected so much money into it. Now, the other thing is, while working on the project, he's already sourcing for investors into the project. He reached out to many countries and organizations. He was at the Qatar embassy, he was at the French embassy, he was at the Chinese embassy, he was at the Turkish embassy, and a host more. Now, while there, he discussed with them about business opportunities in Yobe State. And a lot of them have already shown interest. Yes.
And then the markets?
The markets, look at it. For the first time, we are having such markets. And when you have airports, of course, you have to have a conducive atmosphere for marketing. When we talk of international businessmen coming in, obviously you have to have conducive environment for them to do the trading. buying and selling.
And people are asking, how is the governor able to balance all of this? He's the governor of Yobe State, which is a very tough job. He's also the caretaker national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, the governing party in Nigeria. These are two big jobs that requires time and attention. How is he able to balance all of these and do them so well?
His Excellency Orumai Malabuni is a committed team player. He believes in having a team to work together. At the same time, he is one person who believes in division of labor. He will give you this job, go and do it, with a very free hand for that matter. With very free hand, not interjecting to maybe cause confusion along the line or whatever. He will give you that job, that opportunity, with a very free hand, go and do it. By the time you bring it, let's share what you have. Now, you produce what you've been able to do or what you've been able to get, and we look at it, and of course, at the end of the day, we come out with a very clean copy that will support. What I'm saying in essence is, at the state level, the commissioners are having very free hand to execute all government projects and policies. And importantly, like I told you, he has his many ways of getting his information. He gets his information to know what is going right and what is going wrong. And of course, that acts as supervision. By the time he's able to say, okay, Femi, what you've done here, it needs to be corrected. That he is now following and supervising. Of course, you need not to be told that the next step, you must wait until when he gets back to you to tell you that you have to do this and do that. So that is it. And at the national level, he met a party that was in tatters. And in fact, it took a kind of ingenuity for him to bring the party back to life. He did not do that alone. He was able to constitute a lot of committees to do the reconciliation here. People of proven integrity, people who are respected, people who understood the political game better, people who will talk and you will listen to them. Now he brought them to these committees. Now you go there, you talk, you try, you reconcile these one factions or one parties. They understand what it means with that commitment of yes, we are now ready to work together. And let me tell you, when he started, there are some founding members of the party. When they saw his first step in resolving the crisis, of course that gave them another new hope. And they said it publicly. And I'm happy to say that it is this attitude of being a team player and as well as giving you a very free hand to execute your jobs and duties that make things very easy for him. And we thank God you can see the kind of people rushing into the party at the party level. To his credit, we have 3 serving state governors who have joined the party. We've seen former national chairmen of other political parties coming in. We've seen, in fact, federal lawmakers. I mean, you just count them now. You just can't count them because they've been coming in almost on a daily basis. It's possible while we are just talking now, somebody is defecting. So these are things that have made things very much easy for him. He believes in teamwork, and that is working very well.
In Yobe State, would you say he has also been able to shut his critics?
You cannot find one today, can you? Look, since his election as governor, the opposition party, that is PDP, that fielded a candidate, after the declaration of the results, PDP said it is, sorry, let me start with the candidate. The candidate said he is not challenging the result in any court of law. So also was the political party, PDP. It also said it was not going to challenge the outcome of the result in any court of law. It may surprise you, just recently, some people cooked a story and went to the court, claiming that it was the candidate of the party, that is PDP candidate who contested with him in the 2019 general elections, that they want to challenge him and to now claim the seat of the government. The PDP gentleman came out and said, no, he has no case against him. That case that was purportedly taken to the court, he has no hand in it, and he does not want to be joined in it. So where's the opposition? There's no opposition today in Yobe. We are glad that, to his credit, let me tell you one thing. He does not see anybody as an opposition. He sees the people of Yobe as people of Yobe.
That means the governor has also made your own job very easy.
Much easier. Much
easier.
easier. In fact, much easier, because like I said, his humility, if you meet him, he's willing to talk to you and say, oh, this is, and he explains things to you, and you get it straight from him. And in fact, that makes my job quite much easier indeed.
Right. I wish you the very best. Director General, Press and Media Affairs to the Executive Governor of Yobe State. He is Alhaji Mama Mohammed. Thank you very much for your time.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Femi. Thank you very much.